Welcome to Hearts and King. Welcome to Changing Lanes with Hearts and King. I'm Hakima King.
And I'm Jerry Hartz.
It's been a long weekend. Well, happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yes.
And hopefully everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend.
Well, it's continuing on. We have one more day today.
Yes.
So are you going to have a cookout?
I don't know. I might enjoy the beach. Maybe put my feet up in the sand or something,
What are you going to do?
Probably go on a boat.
Who is this?
You know what? I'm excited. Let me tell you something, guys. We have the best guests. And this week we have the very best guests because we gave birth to both of these guests. I gave birth to my daughter, and Jerry gave birth to Isaac. And I don't know if you guys know, but last week was Isaac's 19th birthday. This is Isaac. This is Jerry's son. And Ayana is joining us from Michigan. Hey, Ayana.
Hi.
Are you excited? Don't sound excited.
Woo.
Hey, I'm not the only mother that acts like that.
Right.
Yeah.
These kids are not being kidnapped, even though Isaac got that surprise look on his face. How you feel about being on Changing Lanes with Hearts and King, Isaac?
It's nice seeing what my mom's doing all the time.
Yeah. Do you watch our podcast?
Yeah.
All right, you better. What about you, Ayana? Have you watched our podcast?
I have not, but I've heard a lot about it, so it's cool to be on here.
Okay,
Oh.
I see. He's only watched one, and that's
She's in
because
Michigan.
I was in the car with him on a road trip and forced him to watch it to get his feedback.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yes.
Yeah. So, guys, we decided this week that we wanted to bring our kids on. Not only do we talk about them all the time, but these are two of our college students
And athletes.
Oh yeah, they are student athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about it all the time. We talk about our kids all the time. So now you get to see them live and live in color.
Yes.
But we've also wanted this episode of our podcast to be about, like, there's kids that are graduating college and high school because it is Memorial Day. So you got a lot of graduations going on now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a lot of kids getting ready to go off to school.
Yes.
And then some of them getting to enjoy their summer plans and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to bring our two college students on to give some advice. How you feel about that, Isaac? You are expert at college. You know that, right? Now.
Not really. Not yet. I would say I'm a novice still, but
There
I'm
you
getting
go.
the hang of it. Yeah.
You're getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
was it scary for you?
At first, yeah, but honestly, just being always busy with football kind of took everything out of it because that's the only thing on your mind is you're late to something, so you always got to keep track of yourself.
right.
So,
See, when you're in high school, it's totally different, correct?
yeah, because it was just after school, so it was easy to know, like, okay, bell rung, time to go to the locker room, get dressed out, go practice.
Right.
But now we have like the early morning practices, random meetings throughout the day, like right after class, right after lunch. So it's just, you always got to pay attention.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus the
Awesome.
first year, especially the first semester, they required all football players to do study hall.
Yes. I
So
remember
did
those.
they do that with you, Ayana, with gymnastics?
Yes, freshman year, your first semester, just to keep you on track, going into college. Yeah, they keep us in study hall. We have a few hours a week that we have to get done throughout the week.
Right. And now you're actually.
Let them introduce themselves. Let's say what
I
they
was
are.
going to say, because
Yeah.
I wanted to say she's now an expert at college.
Yeah, I think they're both experts. As long as you got a little more knowledge than the average person. So those high school kids, you got a little more knowledge, you fall into the expert category. Did you know that? A little more knowledge than the average person
Makes sense.
makes you an expert. Right.
Right.
So introduce yourself, Isaac.
Well,
Who are you?
My name is Isaac. I'm a D3 football player. I go to Christopher Newport University, majoring in business marketing. That's pretty much all about me, I guess. I don't know.
You turned 19
Yeah, I
last Monday.
turned 19. It's pretty crazy because, like, I still feel like 16. And, like, I can only imagine what it feels like for you.
Well, I still feel 16, so we have a problem here.
But, yeah, I go to a small school. It's the same size as my high school. So you always have to find something to fill the time. And I've gotten into real freshwater fishing. So, like, largemouth bass, mainly just bass. I'm trying to get into tournament fishing, but I need a boat first because it's kind of hard to get in the good spots without a boat. So
We'll work on that boat.
Yeah, for sure.
that's my summer project.
Okay. And I heard you got your boat license?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I may or may not join you on the boat. Right?
Okay.
You're joining. So, Ayana, give us this thing. Give us your
Who
story.
My name is Ayana King. I am a junior at Eastern Michigan University, and I'm also a D1 gymnast on the gymnastics team here. I'm majoring in communication and minoring in management. So, yeah.
Yes.
She needs mentoring.
Aaron is very excited. I can mentor her. I can mentor her. He's in the back going communication. So he's like,
Right.
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 I got your back. I'm a Hall of Fame broadcaster,
Right.
so I got your back
Thank
if
you
you
so
need
much.
it.
Right. Ayana, how many majors have you had since you've been in school?
So I've switched once. I initially wanted to be a veterinarian at first, but Eastern really wasn't a school for that. So I had to like kind of broaden what I wanted to do. And then I went into exercise science when I got here. And then I realized that wasn't for me either. So I decided to get into communication. So
How has that been?
it's been different because I'm very like, I don't communicate a lot. I feel like I'm a little shy, but I'm definitely learning from it for sure. I feel like I'm getting better with like my communication and the way I talk to people and stuff like that. So
Oh, well, welcome, because it's like now you're using your communication skills on changing lanes with Hartz and King.
Absolutely.
yeah, we're networking right now.
Right, right.
Well, and I just from knowing you have never known that you were shy. So this is like fun to hear that.
She's shy.
Yeah.
She's simply, I feel like you're more of a people's person. Ayana, what do you think?
I think I'm like an introvert. Like once I get comfortable around people, then I'm like a social butterfly. But like when I'm first there, I'm like super shy. I feel like it just takes a little bit.
Just me being a mom, I just feel like I take my kid on the playground and everybody's her friend. She's like, hey guys,
Right,
everybody's her
right.
friend. Her sister more of an introvert.
That's what I
You
would,
know?
if I had to label, which I wouldn't try to label because both of you are just so well spoken and always put together. It's ridiculous. Like I'm trying to show up somewhere with, I'm coming.
I
But-
get those days. She knows.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're both very proud of you.
Yes, guys, we
really,
are.
like
Thank
for
you.
me, I had no idea what it took to be an athlete in school, and then to hear his schedule and knowing your schedule is probably just the same, if not even tougher with gymnastics. Don't you have to keep your weight a certain, like a certain, your body fat and all that? Like, do they monitor that as well?
No, they don't really get into that. They really just expect us to kind of stay on top of like our health, make sure we're eating and like stuff like that. But they don't really look into that as long as we're able to, keep doing what we're doing.
Okay,
You just
so
talk about the weight. That's where you were.
okay, so I had my roommate from college we started OD, but she went to University of Georgia, and that was in the 80s, and they were really strict on her body fat and all that. And didn't they go over your
Yeah.
weight? And,
So like for the offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they're real strict on it because usually the defensive linemen, they want them to be a little more skinny and a little more quicker,
right.
whereas the offensive linemen, they want them to be bigger and heavier. But for like my position group as a linebacker, they just want me to be where I best.
Feel good
Yeah,
and can hit well.
pretty much. Yeah.
So what are you shooting for?
I want to get to 205. I'm at 190 right now. So I need to eat a lot more and get in the gym a lot more and run a lot more. So it's a ways away before I get to my goals.
So it was really funny last year. I was trying to go on a little bit of not a health kick totally, but I'm trying to take better care of myself. So I had my blood tested, and I had too much creatine, which either you dehydrated or you are eating too much protein. So the doctor was like, so what are you eating? It was like chicken and rice and chicken and rice and chicken and rice, and then beef and rice and chicken and rice. Because I was eating when I was cooking for Isaac. So he really wanted me to be a vegetarian. And I was like,
I remember that.
that is not happening.
Right.
So, but I really changed. So with each person, you've got to really like watch for
What you
yourself
eat,
what you're
right.
doing. And I am not a football player. And I'm more of a couch surfer.
Right.
So that's what I would call me.
Right.
Maybe I'm a car rider.
And you know what? I always say I am a meat eater. So I'm going to eat some meat. I might cut out the rice and cut out the pasta.
Just eat some vegetables to get it flowing.
right.
Pick a vegetable. I know you don't like them. Just pick one.
I could pick one, but I'm more of a carnivore.
So I pull up to the car the other day, and she's like, she's a tray of food in her hand, one hand, and a big steak in the other. That she's literally like,
I am eating it.
"You want a piece of chicken?" And I was like, "How come I get the chicken?"
And I get to eat the eat
She
the
had
beef.
this like thick steak, and she's
yeah.
just sitting in the car. And I think the car even honked at you.
My car has a honking issue right now. That's another one of my stressors right now. But Ayana, in college, let's talk about you guys freshman year, because you just finished your freshman year.
Yes.
And Ayana, you going into your senior year, correct?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the stress or what you had to deal with your freshman year? And then the same question be for you, Isaac. So just going from high school, your senior year, into your freshman year as a student athlete and a student, what was the major lane change that you had to
Where was your
get
mind?
adjusted? Yeah.
Where was your mind? Where were you?
I would say more of like going into college, you want to prove yourself, and you know what I mean. So like I was going in like full fledged, going hard. Well, I had a lot of obstacles like going in, but with getting cleared and stuff like that due to like other like past injuries. So I was sitting out the first few weeks, so that was like, a little bit discouraging, but because I was on the sidelines while everyone else was kind of doing their thing. So that was pretty hard, but getting into that, it was kind of like stressful, I would say. It's because like you don't have mom to come home to every day to talk to and rant to and like stuff like that. And my roommates as well, they're doing their thing. So it's really hard to like have someone to relate to that. So I would say it was a little bit stressful. And then getting into school, it wasn't too hard, like school, because it's like I was doing this already. More like going to school in the morning, getting off, and then going straight to practice. So that wasn't really super crazy, but I would say more of like just the like being homesick, that definitely got to me. And
You
just
were far. You were far.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I know your freshman year was a little hard for me because you would call home a lot crying and being homesick. And I'm just like, you got friends there.
I'd be like on the plane.
I know. It's hard as a parent not to. And like, she's not just somewhere I could just go and just get her. So sometimes you got to give her that tough love. Like, and I think I did good with tough love. What do you think?
Yeah. Like you don't really baby me like that. Like,
listen, but when you got off the phone, I mean, I had to pull myself together too, but I'm like, for you, I had to make sure that, like you wasn't going to give up, like, and giving up and quitting was no option. I know how hard it was for her freshman year. But I mean, I think you kind of champed it out. Zaire, see, look, the mom you just call whatever kid. Ayana, what is your specialty when it comes to gymnastics? What was your specialty going into college?
So I was really good at vault, and I knew I was good, and I knew they recruited me for vault just because like videos they would show me like, oh my God, this is so good. I remember seeing you at camp, stuff like that. So vault is definitely my specialty. And this next year I'm definitely gonna be focusing on vault and bars. So
vault and bar,
yeah.
So and a lot of people don't realize you've been through a lot with your knee and three major surgeries, right?
We're gonna get into her injuries. I want you, Isaac, to talk about your freshman year and how it's different in that lane change from high school to college.
Yeah, I would just say like in high school it was the 7:20 the bell starts and class starts, but as soon as like I got at 8 a.m. it was like, holy crap, why does this feel so much earlier? Like it was so hard to go to my 8 a.m.s. But the first semester was when we were in season, and as a freshman, you don't get recognized that much. You don't get to see the field that much. And any opportunity I did have to get noticed, I took advantage of. We had these Thursday night football, which is basically like a inter-squad scrimmage with all the freshmen. So I would always try to do my best there. But I would say it was stressful, but it kind of just, you go on autopilot almost. Like you just get what needs to be done and then you go to bed. Like our schedules were completely filled out. But the first semester was definitely like really cool. And then finals week happened and it just like what's going on. Everything like just got shit hit the fan pretty much. And then second semester, kind of the same deal, but spring ball happened. So I played safety until spring ball, until the last week of spring ball, and then I got moved to linebacker, just because my specialty in football is just coming downhill and just smacking someone. So it is my favorite part because you can always like get in someone's face and like because they can't do anything to you when you just smack them. So it's like it's a good feeling. But I think I'm finally getting noticed as like kind of like a team leader because I really enjoy picking other people up with me. Like if I'm doing really well, I love bringing up other people with me alongside me. But yeah, it was just I don't even know how to describe it honestly. It was a great experience.
Did it go by fast?
Yeah, it went by extremely fast.
Were you able to? Were both of you guys? Were you able to just go in and find friends and find your what I would say your community?
Yeah, I mean, the football team is extremely close. It's like a brotherhood, just because you suffer so much alongside each other, like
You
with the
guys are with
conditioning,
each other
with the
so
workouts.
much, right?
Yeah, we're with each other all the time. We would go to the beach together since we go to CNU. We're right by the beach, and that meant that I'm close to home too, so I could always visit my mom. That's the big difference between me and her is I could always go home if I was feeling homesick because it's a 40-minute drive compared to a flight. So that was really nice. I think that helped out a lot.
It helped me.
Right. It definitely helped your mom. Well, we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we're gonna have more in detail with Isaac and Ayana, who are both college students. Thanks for tuning in to Changing Lanes for Hartz and King. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDBTV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here. We've had callbacks here. We've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space. Chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products, featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
Welcome back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I'm Hakima.
And I'm Jerry.
And today is not Bring Your Kids to Work Day, but we thought for one of our podcasts that we'll bring our kids in who are, we say specialties or specialize in college because they're both college students. And now it's a season for kids that are graduating. And, we kind of wanted to talk to our younger audience today and, just, kind of connect.
Know that you're going to be, let you know that you're going to be okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because college is a big deal. Now I did go to college right after high school. That lasts about a couple weeks, just before you could drop and get your money back. But I didn't want to call and tell my mom I dropped out, so I kind of went to real estate school. That's how I ended up getting my real estate license.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I just had to have another plan. So when she got her heart broken, it's like, hey, but I got a job.
I don't think I would want to make your mom mad.
Right. Let me tell you something. That's why I had to have other options. I'm not going to come to her and like, hey, I quit college, but is a big thing that you and Ayana are doing is going to college and also student athletes, because people don't know is not as easy as it may seem. So
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's just all about the scheduling and discipline and all that. But if I were to take it back and if football wasn't in the picture, I would definitely take a gap year and maybe I would go to community college, but who knows? That's a route that I haven't taken, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Right.
Right.
Well, still you make your own decision.
Yeah.
Your mom ain't saying, hey, you better do this, and you feel comfortable to make your own choices in life.
It was always a dream of mine to play college football, though, so I had to hear it out. And
there you go.
Four more years to play the sport that I love and that I've dedicated like half of my life too, so might as well do it.
Right. Awesome. Well, before we went to break, we were talking with Isaac and Ayana. We were getting into Ayana's injuries.
Mhm.
So this is always like the hardest part for me to talk about because I know it's hard for Ayana to talk about it.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
Ayana, could we go back to talk about some of the what can we call this? Some of the things you had to deal with as a gymnast, and also going into college.
Trials and tribulations.
Speed bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Speed bumps. Mhm.
I've been dealing with knee injuries since before college, so it wasn't anything I wasn't used to. I went into college already like 2 surgeries deep on like both knee, well, 1 surgery on each knee.
Wow.
So it wasn't anything I wasn't used to, but I always like recover with like I don't really think about it. I always go in thinking I know I'm stronger, so I don't really go in with that mindset of I'm gonna hurt myself again. So I give my 100%, and if something happens, like it's always unfortunate, but things happen for a reason. So I came into college freshman year and tore my ACL on beam. Probably, I think that was October or November. I
I
think
think it was October that you tore it, November when we had the surgeries.
Yeah, so that was pretty hard for me, especially because I wanted to go in and debut my freshman year and like show everyone what I could do. But
Sure.
it definitely was pretty hard. But I definitely commit like how can I say this? How do I say it? I like put myself out there in a different way. I was like a great teammate, like to my roommates who were also freshmen. It's only 3 of us, so I made sure I like kept a good attitude for them, and if they were discouraged, like always gave them advice and stuff like that, and always a great teammate.
So now are your roommates on the team as well?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
It's a class of 3. It's 3 of us. Yep.
Yeah, definitely changed lanes. So after you came back from that, how long was that recovery? Because I know what age were you, Ayana, when you tore your first ACL?
I believe I was 14 or
14.
15.
You were 14.
Yeah.
And your second one?
16.
16. What's the second one? So when you got to college, that was, how old were you?
18.
18. And that
Every
was
2 years.
Right. It's like every 2 years. But
Is it every other knee?
every time.
It switches.
It's kind of like her putting a lot of
pressure
on one because the other one's healing. And then I just want to talk about her tenacity because her coming back, like she was out 18 months out of the sport before she got recruited into college. 18 months coming back. You remember that transition from Virginia to Illinois?
Yeah, that was huge. That was like a huge change in my life. I decided to go live with my grandma for a year to just get me back on track because COVID kind of took me off track, especially because the gym got shut down. I was really, really lost without my sport that I've been doing for so many years. So I definitely got off track. So I decided to make the decision to go live with my grandmother. And she was definitely good at getting me back on track and
Oh, that's
put
good.
up my butt.
That's good.
Right.
But I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for that.
Right. So there is when she went into a gym in Illinois. Can you talk about that, Ayana?
So I officially kind of quit. I didn't think I was going to go back into the gym after COVID just because it was such a long gap that I've been done with it. But honestly, it's like riding a bike. It's like you never lose these skills. It was as long as I stayed in shape, I had like everything. So my grandma took me to an open gym in St. Louis just to like, play around and stuff like that. And I realized I still had it and that I wanted to continue with the sport throughout like my senior year. Definitely keeps me on track. Like senior year of high school is definitely one of my best like years academically. And I got so many skills back and was able to, get recruited to a D1 school, which was like a really, really amazing for me.
That's amazing for anybody. That's awesome. You should be really proud of that.
Yeah, that's why I said her tenacity to want to come back. And now you're going into your senior year of college, and you are coming off of another injury, but you're back, correct?
I am back. Yes, I'm cleared and working this summer to get most of my skills back so I can compete next season and debut next season as well.
Nice.
So when is the actual season? When do you start competing?
It's starts around December. We have one like scrimmage meet, so it really doesn't count towards like our overall like score. It's just like to help the freshmen, dip their feet in the water and know how it feels to compete in front of a crowd that's actually looking at everything that's going on and not like just the parents looking at their daughter, because that's what I was pretty much used to. My mom and
Right.
teammates watching me back in high school to like the whole audience. It's like you're putting on a show for everyone. So it's definitely a different experience, and yeah, I'm excited to get into it next year.
I just honestly sitting here thinking about the two of you. I think being in a team sport, you being in a really individial, even though it's gymnastics, you're on the gymnastics team because your schools kind of go together, but
Yeah,
really you got to dig deep. I mean, both of you dig deep, because you're going to get the pressure from the guys, and you're getting pressure from the judges, and it doesn't matter. You guys are under a lot of pressure, and the two of you have handled it very well, I think,
Right.
and very successful. And I almost feel like with Isaac and Ayana, I'm wondering this for you, and you kind of alluded to it when you said, "Where am I without my gym?" But you do better when you're on a tight, structured, you like the structure.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Right. I like that. It does. Ayana, what do you think? Do you think that you like is there a lot of structure in gymnastics?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely like some things you can't do, some things you can. It's always things are always changing as well. So
Well, you definitely have structure with your schedule. They want you in the gym, they want
Oh,
you
yeah.
lifting, they want you
Yeah.
do that kind of structure. So I mean,
yeah.
when you wake up in the morning, you have somewhere to be by whatever the start of your day is. You know exactly where to show up and what bag to pack. Oh, are we off again?
Nope.
Oh, sorry. But what bag to pack, where to be. I feel like it with my job and my structure, there isn't one unless I really make it.
Right.
And the days that I don't have somewhere to show up to are the days I'm a sloth.
Right.
I stayed yesterday, which I kind of needed, but I stayed in my jammies all day. I mean, he came in after a very full day, and it was 10 o'clock at night. I was still in the same,
Those are my best days. I love not moving and not having to be responsible to be anywhere.
right.
So
Right. But I mean, I just like to see just to
It
hear.
is, yeah.
And I can't keep up. My parents are always like, "Where's Isaac today?" I'm like, "Well, the gym. I don't know. On the football field. I don't know anymore. He's doing his thing.
I am pretty bad at that. Ayana, would you say I'm bad at that as I'm not gonna say as a parent, right? But I think at this point right now, as as our last semester, she's been really keeping up with me. Do you not?
Yeah, but then you keep me on I feel like I'm on such a structured schedule that you tell me what I'm forgetting sometimes, like setting up appointments and
Yes,
stuff like
yes.
that. So
Yeah.
it's just so
Well,
overwhelming sometimes that I forget and stuff like that. So you're
I
good for
think
helping
everybody
me.
needs Hakima in their life because she keeps me on track. She keeps you on track. She's starting to keep Isaac on track.
I think these kids got it. I think Ayana, sometimes I'll go a couple of days without I feel like calling her. Cause remember a couple of weeks ago, you're like, "Mom, I feel like you're avoiding me." Remember that? And I'm like, "No, I was just
Well,
running
yeah.
around." You said what now?
Yeah, but last year you would send me Instagram reels saying how much I don't call you. So I
Right.
was like, you know what, you're right. I start calling my mom every day, especially
Well,
this year.
I love your calls every day. I mean, sometimes Ayana, you will call us at 11:02 when we're on the
Yeah,
air.
at the
You're
worst
like,
time.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, she didn't forget. She got a plan that way.
That's right. She's so important. Which
See
you
if we're
are.
working. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love it though. I love our relationship now that you're in school. I love that you do you call all the time. She's definitely a good kid. Both of you guys are great kids. I just want y'all make it easy for us to
Absolutely. Plus, and this is another thing. When we force you to help a lot, but Anna,
I pay him.
I know. Well, I know, but it's a nice thing that they can actually show up and
Help
see,
us out. Yes.
even today coming here to the studio and Ayana zooming in, it's I was like, "Aren't you excited to do this?" And he's like,
right.
"No."
We're not excited for our kids. I think we're badasses, but to our kids, we're not that bad.
I know.
Yeah.
When
That's
we when they get older and they realize like that other people don't do as much as we do.
We do, right. They don't know. They
She
appreciate
will
us.
always just be mom.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
No.
But you guys do. Now we're gonna go back into, we're gonna change lanes and go into our corporate housing and
Okay.
just talk about that a little bit, because
that's
last
right.
summer you guys were very instrumental in helping us out
A lot.
as far as like, yes, because we had a lot going on. Ayana, did you not start your own business as dog walking for some of our tenants?
Yeah, I did a few. Yeah.
Well,
And
and then
including-
even prior to that, we were getting one ready. So Ayana was over painting
Painting
cabinets,
cabinets,
and just helping whatever she could do. She was doing. Isaac's lifting furniture.
Isaac is the muscle. Like if you want something moved, furniture, refrigerator, whatever, Isaac, all you gotta do is text him and then tell him you got cash.
See, two guns in a truck.
Right, definitely. But you
And
guys,
one chest hair.
one, yeah, your mom put you out
That's
there.
green. That's a stray.
So
All right.
Sorry.
your mom put your business out there last week. You talk about you got your one chest here.
Yeah. All right. All right.
All right.
But y'all talked
We're
about how
not-
like we're nice kids.
Right, no,
I want to give you all the credit for that, because when I went to college, that kind of opened my eyes, and I could see how like parents raise their kids, and like they were always like kind of disrespectful and kind of always entitled. But I just want to thank y'all for that, because without that, like, that's why we're nice kids. Is because y'all made us that way.
Right.
Aw, Isaac, give me a high five. I would have a hug, but you're too cool for that.
Oh.
Yeah. We
I know, like,
did you see some questionable things in college.
There's
with these
tissues over
kids,
there.
too.
I knew.
Ayana, what were you saying?
I say you see some questionable things, especially because I'm near the University of Michigan. I'm like 15 minutes away from that area, and I've seen some crazy entitled kids and like what they do, and it's like, yeah, like who raised them? So yeah, kudos to you guys. Thank you guys.
You
Well,
guys
and I mean,
are amazing.
you think you guys seriously, even just listening to your family dynamic, saying that like you went and lived with your grandmother, and Isaac's very close to his grandparents, so we're
Right.
all very lucky that we have
The community that we do.
yeah, people that you just have no idea where people are coming from, and I think for you guys in your future, it's kind of hard. I remember when I went to school, and then after school, I got my first job, and I just remember coming home to my parents and going, "I live in a bubble. Thank you so much."
Right.
It was like, wow, I am so blessed, and to have that gratitude, that's just so important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for that.
When we come back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King, we're going to dive into what you guys are doing this summer, as far as you're not going to school, so you're home, and we're going to find out what you guys are
Up to you.
getting into. Yeah. All right.
Good.
Well, thank you guys for joining us at Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. You can find us on our YouTube page at Changing Lanes with Hartz and King at YouTube, and also on our Facebook page, Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. We'll be back after these commercial break.
With an award-winning and dedicated faculty and 4 beautiful campuses, Tidewater Community College proudly serves nearly 25,000 students a year, 48% of whom pursue degrees that let them transfer to four-year institutions. At Tidewater Community College, 65% of our students attend part-time, so they can earn while they learn, and 1/3 of our students are military-related. Enroll today at Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
Welcome back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I'm Hakima King.
I'm Jerry Hartz.
And in the studio with us today is Isaac, and we have Ayana. So as we said earlier, it's not bring your kids to work day, but it feels good having them.
Kid to work day.
It's good having you guys on our show to see what it is that we do on our Mondays, that we're
Yes.
not just goofing off.
Actually, it's bring our young adults to work day.
Young adults, yeah.
Great.
They are definitely young adults. Before we went to break, we were talking about we wanted to know what you guys had going on this summer. Isaac, what are you doing this summer?
So I just picked up a valet job. That's can be like located anywhere pretty much. It's based on the East Coast. So this week I'm going to be working in Newport News and Virginia Beach.
Okay.
And my school is in Newport News, and we have 3 workouts like during the week. So I'm just going to knock out like 2 birds with one stone. I'm going to go to a few workouts and then come back and then work again. And then I'm just going to pick up any side hustles I can find. I already got a few for like moving gravel for my dad's friend, or just moving furniture, anything like that.
Awesome. So you guys need some lifted or moved or small jobs? We got you. Call Changing Lanes for Hearts and Kids. Isaac needs a summer job, and he's not cheap, guys.
No,
Yeah.
but he's good.
He's good. He is good. He's not one of those kids that's gonna be like, oh,
and he has,
let me
and he
think
has
about it.
friends too. Yes, he has
Yes.
friends that will help.
Yes. Ayana, what you got going on this summer?
I'm still in Michigan. I decided to stay here for the summer to get my skills back and stuff like that. And the gym, I didn't want to go back home and get them back there and then come back and they were gone. So I just wanted to get better here, and I got a job as a waitress, and I like it. I love it. I'm making really good money. So
Yes.
You do like it?
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
really
Let me
good.
tell you, last week she called me like, Mom, I got my first tips and it's like $200. I'm like, you're telling me, like, I pay your rent.
Well, used to.
Well, used to,
Yeah.
yes. Hopefully this month I don't have to pay your rent. She's like, every day is like a nice amount that she's making. And I'm
That's
thinking
awesome.
like, let
You
me
don't put her business out
right.
there.
Let me just see how, like, every time I hear this, I subtract from that amount of rent. So I'm so proud of you. I
Thank
really
you.
am. You don't know how proud. I'm just going to ask for a loan.
Well, it has to feel good too. Doesn't it feel good to have a little jing-a-ling-a-ling in your pocket?
Definitely.
Little
And
money
like
in
I
my
was
pocket
looking.
going jing-a-ling-a-ling. Y'all know
Right.
that song, don't you?
Let me tell you,
I used to the bars
if I had to
again.
valet a car, I would wait till a nice car came along, take it for a little extra test drive, you know.
Oh, he can't
Yeah,
wait.
I was gonna
He
say.
can't wait.
That is a
I was gonna
definitely
say.
what you
Hey,
say,
Mom.
Ayana?
I was gonna say. I saw the comment. It says waitressing helps with the communication, and I feel like right now I'm already better at like speaking because I've been just speaking to so many different people.
Yes.
So it's not as like nerve-wracking to speak to like people, especially because like I know you guys, so it's definitely like
Yeah.
easy.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Well, I feel like, I mean, I waited tables all through college, and well, back when I went to school, my last semester of school, I think cost $938. So I can tell you all that I paid for my own school, my own books, and my own rent off of waiting tables. So,
good.
but it
Wow.
wasn't 40 grand or
Right.
whatever school is nowadays. But so the but like even now, I multitask better. I can keep track of things better, and I know it's like time things, and I know it's because I wait the tables. So I think you're gonna really like you're the skill sets that you're acquiring right now are gonna
Right.
take you a long way.
Very good
So,
tools.
mhm.
So what are you guys planning on in the future? So once college is done, what are your plans, Isaac?
I mean, if any business opportunities come up, like for a good career, I'll probably take that. But most likely, I'm gonna end up in the military. I'm not sure what branch. I'm thinking Coast Guard, Air Force, Navy. I'm not really sure. My sister's in the Air Force and she does intelligence over at Langley.
Awesome.
She's
Okay.
really loving that. But I'm not sure I could just sit behind a desk all day in a little basement. So I need to be moving. I need to be outside. I need a new environment, a new task at hand every day.
What
So
about law enforcement? You ever thought about
yeah, I
that?
have. Yeah.
He was a sheriff for
I mean,
Halloween.
We're paying like 50 or 40, $48,000 a
Okay,
year
look,
to 18-year-olds.
This is
right now.
This is how I feel about that.
Listen, we'll talk after this.
We're trying to get you out of it.
Right, we are, but it'll be a
I'm
good
good in
opportunity for him
stressful
for the
scenarios,
first
so.
2 years, and then he scale up to go
Okay,
federal.
that's all fine.
Yeah.
It's all good because no, I don't want to talk about that. But I do I want to hear what Ayana has planned.
Yes,
And then we have a story about his law enforcement
no, we need to get this
his
story.
detective work.
Oh yes, we
The
got to talk
toucan.
about this.
Yes,
Ayana, what are your plans for your future?
So communication is new for me, especially I'm still just now learning it. I got into it this year, my junior year. So before I graduate, I plan on securing an internship and maybe like networking. But this is also helping me network. So if you are listening,
So with the communication, because I did marketing, and then so what's the difference between like is communication just like what we're doing now and radio and TV, or is it what help me with that? What is communication?
It's so broad. Like, I feel like you can really go. A lot of people tell me that you can really go anywhere with it, but I specifically hear about the radio and the TV and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's for me. But I'm definitely
You're very
looking
beautiful
into
and you have a wonderful speaking voice. So
Right.
I think that yeah, you know, your presence is wonderful, your smile, your expression. So you just just stop all the negative. Just keep going day by day and learning, because you never know what door's going to open.
Yes.
It'll come. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come. Just praying about it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Good. And just come home and scale your mom business up, right? Take over.
Oh yeah, that's my backup plan. That's my backup plan.
Well, I mean, honestly, because we do have every day for me, because Hakeem has been very instrumental on helping me visualize and just broaden. Anyway, I feel like we could scale it quickly and easily if we. I mean, that's where we're getting
tap into our resources, our kids.
So yes, and you guys are much smarter than I am. I mean, Hakeem is pretty smart, so I'm not going to say than she is, but yeah, I appreciate y'all's youngness. Your youth.
Isaac, we got to talk about it because I know you and your mom went to Florida a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Right. And when I talked to you on the phone, I asked you, were you a fugitive from Florida? Because your mom was sending me some pictures of toucan statues. You guys got to tell me this story.
So this is really like a part of changing lanes and people aging. All right. So my uncle passed away, but while he was alive, he had a fantastic life, and he loved Murano glass. And Murano glass, like, it can be anything from little tiny thing to this huge thing. It could be anything from $20 to tens of thousands of dollars.
Like blown glass sculptures.
It's art glass. It is from a little island in Italy, so that's why it's called Murano. Venetian glass, like, people call it different things.
What I saw was very, very beautiful. That's why I was wondering, are you guys wanted fugitives?
So we were part of a caper. We part of a caper. So his caretaker at the end of his life and my godfather's life, they lived together for over 60 years, and they collected this art glass. And they had a 950 square foot condo that had over, I can't tell you how many pieces of this glass they had.
You had to watch where you stepped.
You couldn't. You had your thumbs in your pockets when you went over there, and you sat quietly, and it was anyway. It's how they wanted to live, and it was their thing. But my sister, in her good brain that she had going on, did a video of all of it, like a video catalog, because there was. I mean, we could right away and take pictures, but to do it quickly, she did a video when he started getting sick and we knew what was happening. So she did a video, and there's one crazy piece that, my uncle at the end of his life was like, put your name on something to make sure you get it. And mine was a toucan, and it was this crazy looking bird, right? So anyway, things happen. He passes. My sister's sitting there eating a piece of pizza while she's getting the estate straight, and she looks down into the cabinet and was like, your toucan's, she texts us. She's in Florida, I'm in Virginia. Your toucan's missing. And I was like, haha, you're so funny. She's like, I'm not kidding. So the toucan went missing. And then from that, they looked at the video, and like 5 or 6 other pieces were gone. So the only person that had access was the caretaker. Right. So
this is like a mystery.
Yes. So this was part of that. So anyway, a very nice kind of passive family. I'm a little bit more outspoken than most of them. And I was upset because it was like, I didn't want any of this stuff. Like, I'm going to break it anyway. So fast forward 2 years, because we've had so many things go on. So this guy didn't have any idea that we were still like on the radar with the toucan, right? Right. Like, he did not suspect anything. So, and everyone else, my sister actually saw him in a restaurant, and she did not confront him. And this was like 6 weeks ago. And I was like, you can't, my toucan. It's like, I was epileptic, but she's just that way, and she doesn't want to cause rock a boat and whatever. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. I have to get on with it. Anyway. So flash forward, Isaac comes with, and we went on the toucan caper. So
it was Mother's Day. And we figured we might as well get this guy flowers, just because, like, he's a little zesty, you could say. And we show up to this guy's house, but first, every like neighborhood in Florida has like a guard post, and it's like you have to hand him your ID and all that. So we drive up to it, and the guard just had went on break. so it was clear to go through. So we drive through.
We were so excited.
Yeah.
It was like the gods were with us.
I just think we were lucky, but it turns out like the guard is never there anyway. So,
But in our minds, we were lucky.
yeah, and then we pull up to his house and we like look in. We kind of go around the perimeter to see if he's in there. He's watching TV.
But
And,
it's like a screened-in porch, like because it's
Yeah.
a fourplex, and it's a screened-in lanai, I guess, and it's huge, so you can't.
You have to walk into his porch, which is on his property, to get to his front door. And it's like a really lush, like he has a bunch of plants everywhere, and it's just like, are we in the rainforest right now? Like,
Really?
and then we knock on the door, and he kind of just turns around and looks at us like, "Who the hell are these guys?" And he opens the door, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then we give him like backstory, like
the
last
flowers.
time-
Thanks so much
Yeah.
for taking care of Tony and Fred.
last time my family was there, my grandma fell and fractured something in her neck. So we were like giving him a sob story about that, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then it was just like kind of like 2 minutes of straight silence, and it was really awkward. And so I just was up front, and I was like, "Do you have the toucan?" And he was like, "No,
The
I've never
muscle
seen
says.
it. I've never seen it. I don't
Have
know
you
what you're
seen
talking
it? He
about."
just lied straight to well, first off, he's not letting us in the house. Like he's not saying, "Well, come
He's
on
just
in."
poking
So
his
he
head out the
knows
door.
who you guys are.
Yeah, he knew exactly who we were. And yeah, so he's got the flowers in one hand and he's holding the door with the other. So but he kind of like put his body in his body. And no, I have not seen the toucan. And I was like, can I use your bathroom?
Wow.
Yeah. So she goes inside, and that's my opportunity to go inside. And as she's walking to the bathroom, she kind of does like a little spin and points to her eyes and goes like that.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm going in there, and I did sales for about 6 months. So I was just
I remember.
all right, let me lock in real quick. I'm like, "So how long have you lived here?" About 8 years. I was like, "What parts of Florida you lived in?" And he was like, "Mainly just this one." Like he was kind of like really monotone. He wanted me to get out. He was just standing by the door, holding the door open for me to leave.
And you went in with your mom.
And I was like trying to play with the cat, and it was a street cat, and he was like, "That cat's not gonna come to you." Cat never came to me. And then my mom comes out of the bathroom, and in the bathroom she sees like 5 pieces of Murano, and she's like taking pictures of it, sending it to like her sisters, my aunts, and we're walking out, and I'm like, "Mom, you know there's 2 toucans in that house, right?" And then she's like, "What?" And then she goes back and confronts me.
I just turned right around. I was like, it just turned around and we did. I mean, I was like, and he's like, "What is she doing?" You know?
But as she walked in, he closed the door behind her and he locked it, so I couldn't get in there. So I was like plotting in my head,
Your
if
mom's inside.
he does something to her, how am I gonna get inside? And I was like, all right, I guess I gotta sprint through the sliding glass door or something.
Oh, wow.
And but that's just my mind. Just like worst
Right.
case scenario, what do I do?
Right.
And then he ended up.
Well, I just was like, this toucan is the only thing that I have left of them. This is what I was going to remember them by. You know, this is ridiculous. This is here. I was like, "Can I have it?" And he goes, "Yes."
And just give it to you.
Yeah. So, but you have to realize this, I had researched that piece and it was probably like $1,500. So is that grand larceny yet?
That is grand larceny.
See, so I think he knew that. So anyway, I did not realize that the other pieces, the ones in the bathroom, I didn't know that they were not in the video, so we didn't have any way to like
Prove that
prove
they were
that
his.
they were
Yeah.
his, right? But the other toucan was, but I didn't realize that it was missing, and I had never seen it. Like, there was so much; it was really hard to pay attention to with this stuff. But so anyway, we got in the car. We were so excited.
Felt like a little trophy. I was holding it up. I
You
was like,
should have been.
they said that we couldn't get it. They say we couldn't get it. Well, guess what? It's coming back
It's
home.
coming back home. The toucan's coming back.
I say one thing I always say: you never steal from the dead.
Yeah.
That's true. So that was the first thing she asked. She was like, "So is he sick?" And I was like, "Yes, he looked tiny. He was like in gaunt. Like he looked sick." And she's like, "You don't steal from the dead."
You
But
don't.
there was still another toucan in that house that we didn't get. So the following day, we're trying to call him, trying to text him, nothing. So we message him and tell him that we're going to contact the sheriff's office and let them know that you stole it. And we still had nothing. But then he liked my mom's message, but that's it. So we went to his house again, and we're knocking on the door. And, well, I'm standing by a tree, kind of just nonchalant in the corner. And
He looked menacing.
kind of, I guess. She's knocking on the door kind of quietly, and there's nothing. And then I'm like, "Mom, bang on the door." she bangs on the door, and then he jumps out of bed. I see like from the window, and he opens the door, and
Oh, he had put it away.
Yeah, he
like, 'cause
hid
I
it.
did see it.
He hid
I did see it. He did hit it. He did hit it. He did hide it. It was like, oh, it was just. I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, come on, we have the video, and he just goes. And he goes and he squats down and gets that and hands it over. And I was like, is there anything else that you want to give back? And he's like, no. I was like, okay. So we just left and we feel very good about our
Good.
toucan caper.
Look
Because
at
that
that.
was thanks.
Yeah, that is good.
Well, because we really had every person that we knew going, just stop worrying about it. Stop worrying about it. Get over it. And it was like, no.
It's yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something that belongs to you that was taken. So
So,
yeah, that's a big deal. But good thing you guys got it back.
yeah.
See, that's why Isaac's the muscle.
and that's why he wants to be in we were going to be the what do we say, the Murano the Murano
Hunters or
the
something.
Murano hunter. We had all kinds of things that we were going to be in the car. It was fun. So it was definitely good bonding. It's the best Mother's Day I could have ever asked for. I don't know how to top that.
You
So
made her day.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. And then you got your stuff back.
got her stuff back. Yes.
Yeah. So you never stole from the dead. But we're gonna wrap up Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. And thank Isaac and Ayana for coming on, meeting our guests and our viewers. If you guys have one piece of advice, both of you guys, it's got to be quick. One piece of advice for any guest that's watching that is on their way to college, what would your advice be, Isaac?
Stay disciplined and do what you say you're gonna do.
Awesome. Ayana, you got any advice for our viewers?
I would say the same thing, and also just prioritize time management and communication with coaches and your teachers. It'll make a difference, I promise.
Aw.
Yes.
Well, I am so glad and so blessed to have these kids. And thank you guys for
Yes.
joining us. And for our viewers, thank you guys for tuning in to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. Until next time, you be blessed.
Yes. Be blessed. Thanks, Ayana.
Bye. Thank you.